So you remember from last week we learned a bunch of argument forms, deductively valid argument forms like modus ponens, modus tollens, denying the antecedent, and so on. Okay, we're going to be learning more argument forms, and this time both deductively valid, deductively invalid, and inductively forceful argument forms, and argument forms that are not inductively forceful. Okay, so this should help you be able to determine whether an argument's inductively forceful or not, in addition to whether it's valid or not. Okay, so let's go. So the topic is just more argument forms. Okay, so here is going to be argument form number one. It's one you've seen a lot, so I'll probably go through it the most quickly. It's going to go like this. Premise one, all dogs are furry. Premise two, Fido is a dog. What can we conclude? Fido is furry. Okay, and you can know right away that this is a valid argument. Okay, and now what I want you to learn though is there's a certain form here, and I'll write it like this. Premise one, all A's are B's. Premise two, X is an A. We conclude X is a B. Okay? And so anything in this form is going to be a deductively valid argument. Okay, so that I think was pretty straightforward. We've already seen many arguments like this. So we'll go to argument form number two. It's going to start the same, premise one. All dogs are furry. Premise two. Fido is furry. Therefore, Fido is a dog. Okay. Now, is this argument valid, or is it inductively forceful? What is it? Well, first let's see whether it's valid. So suppose all dogs are furry, and that Fido is furry. Then does it follow by necessity that Fido must be a dog? Well, dogs aren't the only furry things. There's bears, and even some humans are a little bit furry. Okay, so a not valid. Is this argument inductively forceful? Well, no. I mean, the question is it probable then that Fido is a dog? Well, there's a lot of animals on the earth, and a lot of which are furry, but which aren't dogs. Okay, so it might be that all dogs are furry and Fido is furry, but there's a lot of bears. There's a lot of what other animals are wolves, right? I guess a wolf is kind of a dog, maybe. Cats can be furry, so there's a lot of animals. So it doesn't even follow that Fido is probably a dog. So this is not inductively forceful. Okay. Now let's get the argument form for this down. Premise one. All A's are B's. Premise two. X is all dogs are furry. Fido is furry. So that's same here. So X is a B. Conclude X is an A. Okay. And so any argument in this form will neither be valid nor inductively forceful. Okay, so let's keep continuing on. We got some more space here. Okay, Okay, so letter 3 or number 3. Let's try this. Premise 1. All dogs are furry. Premise 2. Fido is not furry. Conclude. Fido is not a dog. Okay, now is this one valid? So suppose it's true that all dogs are furry. Probably, maybe not true, but suppose that all dogs are furry. If we know that Fido is not furry, then it will follow that Fido is not a dog. So this is valid. Okay, and so we can put together an argument for this. All A's are B's. Premise 2. X is not a B. Conclude, therefore, X is not an A. So this will be a valid argument, anything in this form. All right, so we're chugging along, making good progress. I think we'll just do one more for this video. So letter 4, or argument form number 4. So we got argument forms. Number 4 is, okay, I'll try to do something a little more fun. So let's call this premise 1. All dogs go to heaven. I don't know if you guys are probably too young for this, but when I was growing up, there was a very popular movie called All Dogs Go to Heaven. That's why I'm using this. Fido is not a dog. So we can conclude Fido will not go to heaven. Okay, so how should we judge this? All dogs go to heaven. Fido is not a dog. Okay, but does it follow that Fido will not go to heaven? Well, why? I mean, Fido could be any other creature. A cat. Maybe all the cats go to heaven. Maybe Fido's a human. I mean, we don't typically name our humans Fido, but even if all dogs go to heaven, the fact that Fido is not a dog has no implication for whether Fido will go to heaven or not. So we'll say this is not valid, and it's not even inductively forceful. Okay, it doesn't even show that it's probable that Fido will not go to heaven. All right, so let's get the argument form for this down. All A's are B's. Premise 2. X, all dogs go to heaven. Fido is not a dog. X is not an A. Conclude, Fido will not go to heaven. X is not a B. Okay. All right, so we've learned 4 new argument forms here. Now, if you look at them, they will feel similar to other arguments that we've learned. And if you had that feeling, you're right. This argument will remind you of modus ponens. This argument, all dogs are furry, Fido is a furry, Fido is a dog. This will remind you of affirming the consequent. Okay, you're kind of affirming the second part, and this one you're affirming the antecedent. How about all A's are B's, X is not a B, therefore X is not an A. This will remind you of modus tollens. Okay, or it should remind you modus tollens. And then this one, all A's are B's, X is not an A, therefore X is not a B. This should remind you of denying the antecedent. Okay, Now, we have yet to look into any inductively forceful arguments. So that would be in the future. So, but for now, these are some argument forms you will learn. And yeah, you'll have to like familiarize yourself with. Okay.